We met Sherry Milburn at the University of Virginia Hospital. Goodness, probably a year or year and a half after Carissa had been diagnosed. And I just remember how overwhelmed all of us were to finally meet someone else who could understand what Carissa was going through. Even though her causes for her disorder were so much different than Sherry's, the fact that they could relate on any small level as to what they'd had to go through with not being able to eat and feeding tubes and all the various things that they'd had to face. It was really something that I think was inspirational to Carissa.
We had talked for a long time about how there had to be other people out there. It couldn't just be us. And we had heard, of other people. Obviously, there were doctors out there for it, but we didn't have any way to find it. And finally, when the internet became real popular, and I started doing research on gastroparesis, and I started finding other people, and I got her connected because she's not all that computer literate. So, and that's how we connected, and now we're working really close, and she did help found G-PACT. She was one of the first people involved, so, and that's been good for her as well as, other people. Right after I graduated from college and realized that I wasn't going to be able to go on to grad school for art therapy like I had planned, I decided to design my own personal webpage to reach out to people with gastroparesis and to explain gastroparesis on a level that most people would understand rather than a lot of the medical literature that was out there. And I also created it as a way to cope myself with what I'm dealing with. And I was getting so many contacts through my website, like 20 emails a day, sometimes more, from people with gastroparesis, and I was getting to the point where I wasn't able to respond to everybody, which made me feel bad. So a few months later, I decided to start this support group online, and it's like a listserv, so people send out emails and everybody can respond to them. And I was expecting to get about 50 to 75 people, and I never expected it to get up to, it's almost 800 people by now. And then from my contacts with all of those people, I realized that there was a need for an organization for gastroparesis because there wasn't anything out there for it at all. And so I presented the idea, and I had interest, and I gathered a group of people who were really interested in going after this. And so that's how we started initial talks in March 2001, and we were officially founded on August 23rd, 2001, after a few months of planning and, organizing everything.
I think she did it more for her own pleasure initially, and it was just amazing to see how that developed from being a personal website to being a source of contact with other people that had gastroparesis. And then to see the email group, the listserv, grow to what now is over 700 people has just been amazing. And this is contact with people, all over the world, Australia and Germany and England, as well as nationwide. And I think she went into it maybe needing the support herself. And once she made contact with people, she was not the only one needing support, but they were needing each other. And so it's just been amazing to see how that's come together.
Well, Carissa has been the moving force behind the establishment of this website called G-PACT. And in that, she has found hundreds of other people with her problem. People who didn't know others really had this problem. And so on the one hand, it's a online support group where people can tell their stories, what their experiences have been, share information. But on the other hand, this site also has very accurate medical information. Carissa has done an outstanding job in being conservative and not putting everything that could possibly happen, you know, on this site. There is solid medical information there as well. So I think it's a unique site. It's an incredible undertaking, and when you consider how she feels most days, then it makes it most incredible.
When my son Nicholas developed gastroparesis 2 weeks prior to his first birthday, I was devastated. Through research, I came into contact with Carissa and the support group she had formed. G-PACT has totally changed my outlook. I no longer see this disease as something no one will ever understand. G-PACT is getting the word out and telling the stories of patients with gastroparesis. We all look forward to bringing hope to others that suffer, and I think that's what drives us to work so hard. Carissa is an inspiration, and as a co-founder and friend, I am truly honored to work alongside her. Veronica Pennington, Bellefontaine, Ohio.
When I was diagnosed with gastroparesis, I had never heard of it and knew nothing about it. Unfortunately, neither did my doctor. After doing some research on the web, I found G-PACT. If not for this support group, I might never have learned the tools that helped me to manage this disease and its impact on my life. I am personally more grateful than words can express for the kindness, intelligence, and outstanding compassion that I have received from this wonderful group of people. Joe Fick, Rochester Hills, Michigan.
Knowing my needs, God directed me to this site and gave me others who suffer along with me. It isn't just information. It's a chance to live again with encouragement and to feel needed as we share our symptoms and treatments. My heart goes out to Carissa. She's accomplished so much in so little time with encouragement and love for others. While battling her own illness, God is using her for His glory. What an inspiration for all and a wonderful testimony for others. Cindy Porter, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
I think the way that she's dealt with it has been a very positive thing, to see the heroic nature in which she's tackled her situation, and she's made something out of it. And it's been very rewarding to see her take what could be a major life setback, and she's turned it into an opportunity.
We just moved back a few months ago to the area, and I'm so glad to be back because I get to spend more time with Carissa, and it encourages me to see her being active with my kids and playing with them and wanting to come and get us and take us out in her Jeep, and we go over to Messiah, play in the creek, and I love to watch her play with my kids, and I want them to get to know their Aunt Carissa, and I enjoy that because it's something you don't get over the phone and through email, that activity.
She's never given up, even when she's wanted to give up. And she's had every right to give up. And everyone else that I know would have given up. Chris has kept fighting.